Heard that plenty of times.
Have you been that person, or have you been the person complaining about that?
I've been targeted, and I'm terrible.
He's been targeted. He's a 4.5. We're getting him up to a 5.0. He might be a 4.8 or so. Welcome back to another video. I am Tyler, and this is G. Today we are going to talk about something that I think gets brought up possibly the most in all of pickleball, or a common complaint in all of pickleball. Do you know what that complaint might be?
It's probably when you're playing with somebody worse than you, and the opponents keep targeting them.
Man, you are a genius. You are 10 for 10. So one of the most common complaints that I hear as a professional player and just being involved in the community is, how did that match go? Oh, that match went awesome, except for my partner couldn't play good. My partner was missing everything, or they just kept hitting balls to my partner. Have you heard that a lot, G?
Heard that plenty of times.
Have you been that person, or have you been the person complaining about that?
I've been targeted, and I'm terrible.
He's been targeted. He's a 4.5. We're getting him up to a 5.0. He might be a 4.8 or so. So with that said, pickleball is a lot of fun. It's so much fun, which is why it's growing at an incredible rate. However, at the higher level and even at the lower levels, you can target one specific person. And so the saying that you are only as strong as the weakest part in the chain is totally true in this situation. If your partner is not to a similar level as you, it's going to be very difficult for a team to win if they are not compatible, if they are not at the same level. I've used this example many times, and I believe it's true. If you got the best player in the entire world, if Roger Federer started playing pickleball and you paired him up with somebody who was not good, Roger Federer would lose. And the point being, the two teammates have to be at the same similar level if they want to have success. Okay. So with that said, G, you've said that you've been targeted a couple of times. How does that feel when you're being targeted?
It feels like a lot of pressure.
Okay.
And since you're getting more balls, you're probably making more mistakes, and so it's more frustrating.
Okay. I think that a lot of people would agree with that. You seem to have a lot more pressure because you're getting a lot more balls. What do you do in those situations?
I try to just step off the line a little bit and play a little bit more defensive.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add to that? Good things or bad things?
No, nothing.
Okay. So when you're in G's situation, when you are being the player targeted, I think it's important for you to take a deep breath. Remember the basics. Don't overthink things. I've seen a lot of people, when they start getting targeted, they get flustered and they start trying to do these crazy shots. They start trying to speed it up when they shouldn't, and they eventually start making more errors because of all that pressure and the change in their game. My best advice to those people would be to play your game and to be smart. You simply, as long as you're hitting good dinks, they're not going to be able to attack it. And so just be consistent, be consistent, be consistent, and try to implement new strategies, okay? And so now we're going to talk about the other side. So the player of the partner who is getting targeted. So let's pretend me and G are playing. We're pretending because this hasn't happened yet. Maybe one day in a tournament it will happen. We're playing and the opponents are targeting G. Okay, what are some of the options that we have as a team? What do you think, G?
You could probably cover more court, take more than half the court, just to take some of the pressure away.
So what are the pros and cons to that?
Pros, you get more balls. Cons, it leaves that line a little bit more open.
Okay. So exactly what G was saying, if I start to insert myself more into the match, we might see a little bit more success. However, there's a very big weakness that we are exposing is the line. I'm leaving the line open because I'm trying to come over here and take more balls to insert myself, to get myself more active in the match. However, that leaves the line open over here. And so you have to weigh the pros and cons to each situation. For most people, it still is worth it for the other partner to come in over here. For me, I'm left-handed, and so I like to hug the middle. And so it is my forehand. If they are targeting my partner G, I can oftentimes step in front of him and take that as my forehand. Okay? That's one scenario that you can do if they are targeting your partner. Okay. All right, the second scenario that I've thought of is, it's not ideal, but if you're trying to hug the middle and it's simply not working, then you can reverse stack. You can go the other way. You can put G over here and make them hit to a different side. You can mix things up. The third thing that I would like to do, and this is almost worst case scenario, is have my partner change up his game. So instead of him being consistent, if that's not working, and then this is the last resort that I would say, is to speed up. I would say change up the game. If you're being consistent and it's simply not working, then we need to change something up. And that's when I would say, all right, I want you to speed more balls up. Okay? If he's speeding more balls up, he's making it faster, and that's going to make it more difficult for these opponents to target him exactly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
All right. Okay, so right now it's kind of difficult. We don't have 4 people here, and so we're going to do our best to explain and demonstrate what it might look like in each situation. And so right now, G is over here on the left-hand side, and I'm over here on the even side. I'm left-handed, and so we're going to keep my forehand in the middle, both of our forehands in the middle, okay? Let's say the opponents over here, they're targeting G, okay? So they got him pinned. They're hitting to him, hitting to him, hitting to him, and he's just blocking it, blocking it, blocking it. To me, it looks like nothing is happening if I don't do anything. And so I see that. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go little by little. And the reason I don't just jump out here in front, which might surprise them and you might get lucky with a couple times, is if you do that, they might get lucky or see that you're doing that and then just go hard over here. And so little by little, you want to creep over here and creep over here and creep over here. As they continue to pinch that spot over here, to hit over here, then it gives me more confidence and more stability to get over here, and every once in a while I might be able to pop one up right here in front if they pop it up a little bit too high, and then take it out of the air and really attack that ball rather than it going to G's backhand. G's going to have a hard time taking that one out of the air, whereas I'm left-handed and it's my forehand. I can reach out here in front and take it out of the air, okay? So as I said, the key thing is that you want to do it little by little. I've seen a couple of guys, they just try to run over here and they actually end up pushing their partner out of the way, and it isn't smooth, and they're not going to have a lot of success. You want to do it little by little by little until you know for a fact that you can hit that ball out of the air. Then you can really jump in front and go for it, okay? The second thing that we talked about, let's see. The second thing that we talked about is what?
Reverse stacking.
Reverse stacking. And so he's over there, and then he can come over here, and they might be used to hitting to this corner over here, and so they might hit 1 or 2 over here and then realize that, hey, he's over here, or they'll have to change up their plan, okay? It's something to just throw off your opponents. It's not going to work every single time, but it's something to throw in there every once in a while. And so what this would look like when I'm serving is G is normally on this side. However, I'm going to serve it like this. Serve it, and then I'm going to go in front of him, and then he's going to go behind me, and then we're going to come up to the net. It's just a reverse stacking. It's pretty simple, but it's something that might throw off your opponents, and it's something that you should definitely consider trying. Okay. And then the third thing that we talked about is if nothing's going right, then this is the last resort that we talked about. We want G to mix up his game. If he's doing his own game and he's getting beat at it, then that's when we want to change it up. We want him to, instead of slicing it and blocking it, we want him to change up the pace, change up the tempo, and he's going to do that by speeding it up. And so rather than him just blocking it, he's going to step in and speed one of those up. And what that does, what that causes, is it causes almost like a firefight. It causes a quick exchange. And in a quick exchange, we might be able to beat my opponents rather than just slow playing everything. All right. Once again, thank you for watching this video. G, what did you learn about when you are being the player targeted or when your partner is being targeted?
Yeah, when you're being targeted, just make sure to take a deep breath, relax, play your game, just try to out-consistent them. And then some things you can do as a partnership is have the other partner try to scoot over little by little and take more balls. You can try reverse stacking, and if that doesn't work, just speed it up and try to peg them.
Exactly. Try to peg them. That's what I like. That's what G is known for. G, would you rather be the person being picked on, or would you rather be the partner of that person?
I think I'd rather be the partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. When you're the one being picked on, it's fun because you get a lot of balls. A lot of people get nervous, they get tense, but hey, you get a lot of balls, you get a lot of practice, and you can make your own shots. When you are being the partner, when you're the partner of the person being picked on, it puts almost a little bit of pressure on you, and it also makes you look kind of like a jerk if you're not successful with it. For example, if I'm all the way over here and I have a sitter and I miss it into the net, it kind of makes me look like a jerk. And so at the high level, people understand it, but sometimes it puts a lot of pressure because this person, myself, I'm not going to get a lot of balls. And so the balls that I do get, it puts a lot of pressure on me to make those balls or hit a winner off of those balls. And so truth be told, there are pros and cons to both people. At times in tournaments, I wish that I've been the one being picked on. I wish that I've gotten more balls. And then at other times, I'm happy to be the one finishing the points. And so those are some of the pros and cons, some of the things that you can do in each situation. Let me know down below what you would rather be, the one being picked on or the one ending the points.